I'm Kelly.
And we are the Nerd Herd. And this week we decided to go more into our web series stuff. And we decided to review School of Thrones and, of course, an untitled web series about a traveller who travels through space but can also travel through time. A.k.a. Inspector Spacetime. So, what were your thoughts on either one?
Well, I understood, I like School of Thrones to a point, but if you haven't read the books or seen Game of Thrones, you're not going to get it.
Okay, so if you're wondering what we're talking about, School of Thrones is actually a 3-part web series, which is basically based on the show Game of Thrones. I was actually told about it by Travis Ritchie, who actually does the Untitled web series stuff, who's actually the star of the Untitled web series. And he said to me, I don't understand it, Lisa. I don't get it, because he's never seen Game of Thrones. So I decided to have a look. And basically it's just based on, instead of being Westeros, the kingdom of Westeros, it's Westeros Valley High. And it's basically... It's basically about cliques.
Cliques again.
And we're going through the cliques things again. Yeah. So you have like the Starks, the Lannisters, the Baratheons, the Targaryens, and of course the Greyjoys. Yeah. And it starts off, we have like, you have the Starks rocking on through and the Lannisters and all that. And someone obviously either A, watched way too many 80s like high school, movies about all that stuff. Or they're just really into Game of Thrones.
Or both. And as I was really excited actually when I watched it, because I went, there's Joey! And Lisa looked at me like, who the hell are you talking about? And for anyone who's seen a Harry Potter musical, you'll know that Joey plays Ron Weasley in it. And so I was like, I knew who he was instantly. I knew it was going to be funny because he always plays like a funny character, but it's just him. So I was like, now I can't wait to see where this goes.
Well, the whole thing was too, is that if you've seen Game of Thrones, you obviously know about Baelish, who of course plays, the assistant to the king and all the rest. Well, in School of Thrones is actually the assistant vice principal, Baelish, or as of course good old Joffrey points out, yo, Littlefinger! And you kind of like... Right, but the guy that actually get to play it, his name's Michael Crawford? Yeah.
No, it was something else. Michael Caine. Oh, no, Michael something.
Michael Creighton or something like that. You can Google it.
Yeah.
And he actually looks freakishly just like, was it Aiden?
Aiden, yeah. Sorry, we can't remember last time.
Sorry, I'm under my 4th rum at this point, and Kelly doesn't drink, so she's just as adult as I am.
Yeah, I'm adult. I've had a couple of hours sleep, that's it. So that's why I'm adult.
There you go. So basically, but the guy that get to play it, oops, Dolly lost hair, is actually looks freakishly just like Littlefinger, and it's really creepy because I actually thought it was the same guy.
So did I. When I looked at it, I went, is that the actual guy?
It was creepy actually. It was really, really weird. But what I do like about this web series is that if you haven't watched Game of Thrones, you're not going to get it all.
Yeah, you won't get it.
No.
So if you've never seen it, or you've never read the books, you won't get it. So it's pointless to watch. So don't watch it unless you've seen it.
But if you're a massive Game of Thrones fan and you watch this, you will love it because you will love all the references. You will love the Baratheon brothers are just hysterical.
Oh, the apple reference.
The apple is used constantly. Because like Renly, of course, as you all know, Renly bites the apple. Well, this is just done over and over throughout this series. And of course, Stannis, the older brother, and he's Lady of Light. And all that kind of stuff. Who is, like, they even get, like, a red-headed girl to play it. And the whole thing is that, like, the Starks wear, like, big, like, glasses. Yeah. And, they got Jon Snow with his
coat.
His furs. And they even get a midget to play Tyrion Lannister.
Yeah, they do.
But they make out Tyrion Lannister's, like, the coolest dude out.
Yeah, they do, actually, because they ask the whole
school, yeah.
What they think of Tyrion.
And even like,
Joffrey.
Oh, Joffrey's like, oh my god, Tyrion Lannister slapped me, and it was awesome!
Yes.
And it's like, yeah.
So.
Like, Renly's even like, he goes, man, Tyrion Lannister, he's the baddest mother in the school, and he can outdrink anyone.
Yeah, and it's quite funny, but you've once again not for children.
It's not. It's not for children. Well.
Oh well, Game of Thrones naturally isn't for children.
Oh well, yeah, but this is not to the extent of the actual Game of Thrones.
No, but it's still not for children.
True.
It still has references to. I don't think children get it anyway, so I don't.
God, no. But if you're a Game of Thrones fan, please watch it. What would you give it, Kelly?
I'd probably give it about a 7 out of 10.
Well, I really like this one.
Yeah, so
I'll probably give it an 8.
You give it an 8?
Yeah, I give it an 8 because I'm a Game of Thrones fan.
Yeah, I like Game of Thrones. I liked how they did it. I thought it was smart, but as I said, like, I don't know, it's just personal opinion, I guess.
But the production values on this are excellent.
Yeah.
Like, it's done extremely professionally, and even...
It's quite funny.
Well, they've even got, like, the opening start thing is, like, just like the show.
Yeah, you have to watch it to understand.
Yeah.
If you haven't watched the show again, you're not going to understand it.
No. So, if you're going to watch this, watch Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
But now we're going to move on to an actual web series that you don't have to watch it's taking the piss out of to understand.
Oh, and kids can actually watch this one too.
Yeah! So it's called an Untitled web series about a traveller who travels through space but can also travel through time. And it's basically, AKA is called Inspector Spacetime. Inspector Spacetime was born from an episode of Community, and it wasn't even a 25-second bit, where it was basically a massive piss take of Doctor Who. And the guy that played it was an unknown actor by the name of Travis Ritchie, who was cast for the part. And everyone knew, like, when they watched it, you could tell that this was going to go extremely viral. So what happened was that due to fan demand and due to the massive fandom that it was created by, there was fan art and people doing videos, and there was comics, and there was a whole, like, a community on Facebook and Twitter and Tumblr and all this kind of stuff. So Travis Ritchie took it upon himself, the actual guy who played Inspector Spacetime, to actually went, hey, hang on, maybe I should try and create a web series, based on this. Unfortunately, because due to the fact that Sony actually owned the rights to Community, Travis can't call it Inspector Spacetime. So hence the reason why it has this long garbled title.
Yes.
So if you're probably wondering why I'm jabbing on about it, it's because I actually met Travis at Gallifrey 1 this year. He's been a guest for the last 2 years, and Gallifrey 1 in America actually is one of the main supporters for the web series. So if you ever go to the convention, there's a 2-hour panel run by Travis and run by Ray's fellow actors who actually are in the series, and they bring the production crew and everything. The extraordinary part about this is that actually all monies were raised through Kickstarter. Yeah. It was all fan-based and all fan-funded. And the first series, which in total actually goes for 19 to 20 minutes, is a 6-part web series.
If you're lucky, I think.
Well, the actual series only goes like 19 minutes. Yeah. But the production values on it are excellent. Everything was done with donated or volunteered time. No one was paid at all through the whole thing.
Amazing.
It was amazing. Even the costumes and even the filming, everything was donated or made. And the extraordinary part about this too is that the actor Travis Ritchie, he actually suffers from a condition called Bell's palsy. So when people watch this, they're kind of wondering why one side of his face is all drooped.
Do you want to explain what that is to everyone?
Well, Bell's palsy is a form of a paraplegia in a way. It mainly happens in stroke victims and stuff, but people can be born with it. And what happens is it causes a facial droop, and it causes a partial paralysis in the body. So Travis is a rare person with it, because it's very rare to be born with it. It's normally after you've had a stroke or if you've had a TIA or some kind of a vascular or neurovascular accident. So, and the extraordinary part is that when I met Travis, I met him at Gallifrey 1. Yeah. And I didn't know my phone number. That was the whole thing. I didn't know my American phone number. My mum was on Skype. I saw this guy. He's on his phone. I'm like, I know who you are. I'm just going to walk over. And I walked over to him and I said, hey. I go, what? I go, hi, how you going? Listen, I'm not a stalker. I just need to find my telephone number. And Travis was nice enough to help me. Yeah. And he helped me find my number and let me call his phone and all the rest of that. After that, I had a big chat to him and I fed him Tim Tams, which he thought is amazing.
Yes, apparently if you go over with Tim Tams, you are God.
Oh, if you go to America with Tim Tams, you are guaranteed God. And I said to him, have you had a stroke? And he turned around and he said to me, No, I have Bell's palsy, but thank you for asking so nicely.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. And you know why he said that?
Why?
Because on YouTube, people go on there like, what the fuck's wrong with your face, dude?
Seriously?
Yeah, they do. They write in the comments. He told me. I was like, what? He's like, yeah, they go, what's fucking wrong with you, man? Like, your face is all, like, half fallen off.
Great.
Yeah, I know. But so that's some of the background to Inspector Spacetime. And it's actually going to become, like, a Series 2. And they're doing a Kickstarter for that. They've raised the $12,000 for the prequel episode. And if you donate money, you'll get, like, a poster, or you might get, like, the score of the music. If you donate quite a substantial amount of money, they'll even, if you're in LA, they'll even show you around. They'll, like, take you out. They'll give you tours. They'll do anything for you. So this is all fan-based. And Travis even told me they're going to have a shop.
Well, there you go. Well, as I said, when we went to the comic store, I was waiting for you to actually say something about Thea's shirt. We went to a comic store, and I was just like, Lisa had just shown me what this series, this Untitled web series, and I was like, I know this on this shirt, and I was waiting for Lisa to say something about the shirt, and I was like,
I'm a bit thick.
And I was like, so I went and showed her the shirt, and I was like, look at the shirt. She's like, oh my god, is that? And then Thea was like, yes, that's
Inspector Spacetime. And that's the thing about it. It was all generated from fan-base interest. And that was the only reason why Travis did it.
Yeah.
You know. So back to what happens is that this is a 6-part series. And if you've never watched Doctor Who, you don't need to watch it.
You don't need to.
Because Kelly's never watched it.
No. I've watched the old Tom Baker stuff. I've not really watched any of the new stuff. But you don't really need to watch it. You kind of like can jump straight into it.
Yeah, and you get it. You
Yeah.
know. And I've watched Doctor Who, so I find a lot of it, like, the companion's name Piper Tate. Like, if you're a Doctor Who fan, you know that's Billie Piper and Catherine Tate. And she's a redhead, and she's hilarious. You know, she's a bit, I don't know, she's a bit...
She's a bit ditzy.
Yeah, she's a bit thick.
Yeah,
she's a bit thick. But then you've got the Inspector, and it's kind of like, you know, the whole thing is like, okay, instead of a sonic screwdriver, he has an optic pocket knife.
Yes, which I found very funny.
You know, and that kind of thing. And, like, they still have, like, kind of the piss take on the monsters as well. And they have their own version of Cybermen. And they have their own version of Daleks. And, you know, that kind of thing. But it's more taking the piss out of the British culture, isn't it?
It is, really. Because, like, when they first start with that BBC TV...
Yeah, they call it British... You are now watching British television. We call elevators lifts.
Or the one about Mary Poppins. Like,
I didn't get this. You got this, didn't you?
Yeah, I got this about Mary Poppins. What was the saying?
Yeah, you are now watching British television.
Yeah.
I can't. There's a Mary Poppins quote anyway.
It's practically perfect in every way.
Yeah, there you go.
And I was like, well, that's a Mary Poppins thing. And I turned around to Lisa and went, that's Mary Poppins. And
like, the other one was like, you are now watching British television. We used to have an empire.
Yes.
And it's like, instead of a TARDIS, like, instead of a police box, it's a red Welsh public telephone box. You know, and like, the Inspector, you know, and it wasn't bow ties are cool.
It was Ascot.
Yeah, he's like, Ascots are what?
I don't know, because it was something to do with Doctor Who, and you said one was cool and
the other
one
he's like,
was...
Ascots are interesting or something like that, and it was like, okay.
But I said it also could be like a Scooby-Doo reference as well, because you can take it from there as well. And that's what I said. Like, even though you didn't have to really watch Doctor Who because they had all these different references, like the Mary Poppins one. Like, you know, I was like, oh yeah, I get this because it's Mary Poppins. I just remember watching it that many times that I actually remember the quote. But
because how did you find it? Because I love it.
Yeah,
like, I think it's because I've actually met the guy. So
no, I actually found it quite hysterical. And I just loved that Boyishley.
Oh, Boyish the extraordinary.
Yeah. Boyish. Can't stick to the one accent.
No, because they're Americans trying to be British and they can't do it.
Well, the Inspector sticks pretty close to...
Oh, Piper! Yes! You know, and he does it quite well.
Yeah. And Piper seems to do it like a really good job too, but I don't think... Because she doesn't really say that much, so I don't... You know... But when Boyish comes in and tries, like, the American R start to roll out.
Oh, yeah.
And then I like how he actually just... makes fun of himself.
He takes the piss out of himself. He goes, do I really sound like that? it sounds like cats screaming.
Yeah, and I just...
oh yeah, I do sound like that. Oh.
And what's with the accent?
God, what's with the accent?
Yeah, and that's what he actually says. He goes, what's with the accent? So at least he, like, you know, he's taking, like, yeah, like, they can make fun of themselves sort of thing. That's what I really liked about it. He's like, that as well. Like, they actually can make fun of themselves. And they weren't long episodes, so you could sit there and enjoy it and not go, what's going on? Who's this? Who's that?
And like at the end, it was like stay tuned for next week. Was it
same space
time,
same
space channel, same space time. And you pointed out the Batman reference to that.
Yeah, I pointed out the Batman reference to that because I was only talking about that last night with my boyfriend. He was saying how Batman would say, like, at the end of, like, the Adam West ones, how they would say same bat channel, same bat time, and it could be any country, anywhere, at any time, but you knew exactly when it was going to be on because, like, they'd always say that, so it was a really clever thing to do. And then all of a sudden I come back to see this, and I was like, that's a bit freaky that, you know, they've got the same... It's like, whoa, okay.
But that's the whole thing about it, and, you know, if you ever get a chance to meet Travis Ritchie, he's actually going to Comic-Con this year because of his web series.
Lucky
and
him.
he's just been to WonderCon, and he's doing Gallifrey, and, you know, he's the nicest man.
Yeah, you
he's
saying.
A really lovely guy, and he's all about fans. And, you know, even his costume, like, the day they did the filming, he tried it on. And if you notice, like, in his actual, like, his coat, there's a little square piece where it doesn't quite
fit in.
Go over. Yeah, that was from, because he did it, you know, like, the costume designer donated her time and her materials to do it. You know, so it's an extraordinary effort considering that they've had to fight Sony and stuff. And, you know, if you've ever... There's another series called Dr. Stew who also had that problem as well.
Really?
Yeah, because Dr. Stew was an animated series that was based off the animation of Family Guy.
Oh, okay.
So the Doctor was Stewie.
Oh,
But
okay.
then Fox threatened to sue them. So now they've had to revamp all their animation. And I have heard that there might be a crossover with Inspector Spacetime.
Ooh.
You know, so I don't know yet, but it might happen.
But I do like the take of, like, there's an ascot and there's, you know, the scar.
The bowler hat.
Yeah. You know, where he used to have the actual,
But normally, they wear, like, you know, like an Akuba, or you
Yeah.
can, like, it's like a Stetson, or he might wear, like, a Panama hat, or he might wear, like,
So
you got Tom Baker's
Baker's,
like,
yeah.
he's got, like, his,
Tom Baker had one, and I can't remember what it was.
Yeah, he had, like, his one as well. And,
yeah, exactly. So they all had those hats. So, you know, so I like the fact, you know, and the fact
and
that...
the Fifth Doctor also had a hat as well, and that kind of thing.
Yeah, so I just like that sort of thing, you know, that kind of... Oh, and the running. The running was...
Oh, the running was hilarious.
One of the funniest things that I had ever seen in, like, one of these things, like, especially, was it Piper?
Yeah, Piper running.
Yeah, I was just, like, cracking up, laughing, like, loving the way she's running, like, just...
And the inspector goes, "Oh, Piper, you survived! Good for you!"
Yeah, just those little puns and things, because, like, of the episodes that I have seen of Doctor Who, he does have those little moments where, like, you know, they ask him if he's alive. Oh, yeah, one heart's... the other two hearts or whatever are working, or...
One heart's working, how the other one... What?
Yeah, exactly.
Good for you!
Yeah, exactly. So... You know,
I find this is a very tongue-in-cheek kind of
It is.
thing. Yeah.
It is. It's very tongue-in-cheek, but it's done in a way where there's no swearing.
Oh, no. It's very much PG.
Yeah. I'd say G. Like, there's no swearing. There's no, you know, they go...
There's no sexual references.
There's no sexual references. You know, they go to kill each other with things, but don't even end up killing each other.
They don't even end up killing each other.
No.
We can't tell you how it goes because it ruins the twist to it. The twist is very good.
The twist is quite funny, actually.
But I will let you know now, I was talking to Travis a couple of weeks ago, and he did say to me that Series 2 is going to be produced if they can raise the $112,000, because he actually wants to pay people this time.
So you've got to go to Kickstarter, right?
Yeah, Kickstarter.com is where it's at, and they have successfully raised the money for the prequel, and this one is going to be double the length. So instead of being like 20 minutes, that the entire series is going to be like 40 to 45.
Ooh,
so the episodes will be like,
longer.
you know, yeah, they're going to be like, instead of a 4-minute episode, it's going to be like 8.
Yeah.
You know, and they really want to, like, you know, they're building the booth, and they're asking people to help build the booth, and all that kind of stuff. And even, you know, donate any amount of money to this because this is just extraordinary. And even Travis like gives away posters and he gives away, you know, even like the guy who does all the music is even giving away.
Yeah.
Like he's like, if you donate so much, I'll give you like the score and you know that kind of thing.
There's a behind the scenes that you showed me as well.
Yeah, because the guy that plays the arch nemesis in Boyish the Extraordinary actually is the writer.
A co-writer.
He wrote 5 episodes and Travis wrote 1.
But on the actual thing it says written by
Travis Ritchie and Eric Laloya, who's Boyish the Extraordinary.
And the weird thing is like because when you look at the behind the scenes, it actually looks like a proper production. Like they actually look like they're on set.
Well, yeah, they actually are on set. That's the whole thing.
But you know, because you said all these people donate time,
yeah.
you know, without all this funding. Because you look at the cameras they use, like my background's in acting, so when I look at the cameras that they use, I was just like, wow. And they've got to get, you know, all this time and all this effort, and then especially even at the beginning of
like the opening sequences of it is great. Like
Yeah.
it's like watching a Doctor Who episode.
yeah, it's just like all these opening sequences for even
But
like
even
for
the
School of Thrones.
even the trailers and stuff is like even for School of Thrones, like the production values is excellent.
Yeah, they just become for YouTube videos.
But do you think this is the way it's going to go? Like, you know, people aren't going to watch normal television anymore. It's kind of becoming web series are the new way to go.
I think so. I think that's going to be the new thing. I think this is going to be like the new reality, you know, because people are fed up with the same old thing on TV.
Yeah, fucking oath, I am.
Fed up, like, how many vampire shows can you really take?
Oh, come on, how many cooking shows and how many Reno shows
How many
can you
criminal
watch?
shows can you watch?
Oh, God, and how many, like, you know, the biggest loser.
So, like,
Come
you know,
on.
there's got to be something out there, and so people turn to the net.
Of course. And YouTube is huge, as we
Exactly.
all know. And, like, the whole thing about YouTube is it's all about word of mouth.
Exactly. So, if once it spreads... So, what would you rate it?
Okay, I'm a Doctor Who fan.
So-
I met the guy. So, you know, I'll give it a 9.
Oh, it's close.
Fuck it, I'll give it a 10.
See, there we go.
I'll give it a 10 because I'm a Doctor Who fan.
Yeah.
And the reason why I give it a 10 too is because this was something that was created... Is that... Oh, shit. I know. This is something that was... I thought I'd stop recording. This was something that was created out of fan-based demand. And that was actually picked up by the guy who played it. And he actually has done something extraordinary with it.
He has. I'll give it an 8 out of 10. I really enjoyed it. I'm not a really big Doctor Who fan like Lisa here. So, that's why we've got little Doctor. But, I really enjoyed it. I didn't really need to know any of the references for Doctor Who. So, if you know the basics of Doctor Who, that does help a little.
But you don't need to.
But you don't need to, but, like, if you know what a sonic screwdriver is, it does help.
Well, the thing was too, like, when Travis and I had a chat, he was the one that told me about School of Thrones.
Yeah.
And he was like, I write a web series, and my web series, you don't need to have watched anything to get it. But he watched this and was like, I don't get it at all, because I don't get any of the references.
Yeah, because you've got to watch.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that's where Game of Thrones, School of Thrones has its downfall.
Yes.
And Untitled web series has an absolute, you know, that's its strength, I think.
I think so. But as I said before, if you don't know what a sonic screwdriver is, though, you're not going to get the reference to the
optic pocket knife.
Yeah, exactly.
But I have to admit that the optic pocket knife's a lot cooler because at least it shoots things.
It does look really... actually, it does look really awesome when he opens it up.
Well, actually, Travis told me they're going to be selling those.
They actually look really awesome.
They're going to have little phone booths.
You have to actually watch it to see what we're talking about.
Yeah, you'll enjoy this. It's quite fun, you know, and I know this episode's gone a little bit longer than our previous episodes, but we've done 2 in 1 this week, and you know,
so we probably won't be doing one next week.
Oh, if we have time, we will.
Because the week after that we'll be at Iron
Oh
Fest.
yeah, of course. So to our fellow herders, we know there's not many of you, but
We're getting there slowly.
We're going to be going to Iron Fest. I've been invited as Donna Noble, and of course Kelly.
I'll be going as my Ahsoka and as Rogue from X-Men.
Yeah, I might crack out some Doctor Who stuff there as well. And I'm going to the Lords of Time convention on Sunday.
Lucky you.
So, yeah, I'm going to be meeting, 4 doctors. One I've already met. And I've also going to be meeting some companions I've met and haven't met. And it's basically just old school Doctor Who. So you got Colin Baker and Peter Davison, Sylvester McCoy, Paul McGann, Janet Fielding, John Leeson, Nicholas Briggs. And basically, but the thing I don't like about this con, it's one day.
Yes, because Melbourne gets 2.
Yeah, Melbourne gets tonight, which is Friday night, and Saturday.
Yeah, and we only
and Sunday Sydney gets Sunday, and that's it. And it's $90 general entry.
Yeah, ouch.
And then I've got to pay for autographs.
So how much are autographs on top of that?
$40.
Ouch.
And the photos are $40.
Ouch. My pockets are burning.
Yeah, so if I want 3 doctors' autographs and 3 doctors' photos, I'm looking at $240.
Yeah, ouch. But see, that's why I like bigger cons. Yeah. Because you get in for so much cheaper, and then a lot of the actors.
But even Supernova's $30 a pop.
Well, it depends who you want to go see. See, most of the actors I go see are voice actors because and a lot of them I know.
Well, see, when I went to Gallifrey 1, because it's over 3,200 people and it's capped at that. By the way, I'll be going next year. I actually got 13 or 14 autographs for $200 because they were $20 each.
Yeah, which is not 200.
I think it was 220. I got 12.
Yeah, so it's cheaper when you're in a con like that. Because
and even my photos, I got 4 or 5 photos, professional photos done, and that cost me $150. Because I think the jurist was Mark Shep, and he was $35.
Yeah, so that's here it's what is it here? 40?
Yeah, and even Freddie Adjman, who was their headline guest, was $30, which I was impressed with.
Yeah, I'd be really impressed with that too. But see, if it was me personally, I think I'd do it for free because you want fans coming back.
Yeah, I know, but this is what the convention charges.
I know what the convention charges, but me personally,
but even at Gallifrey 1, 4 of the guests were free anyway.
See, that's the thing. I would rather be one of those.
It's only in the last 2 years they've started charging. Before that, most of them were free.
I guess because the capacity and all the people.
Well, that's not that. The actors know how much they're worth now.
Well, see, that's the bad thing.
That's the thing.
It's starting to get. See, you don't want that. You want an actor who will generally, and this is why I like voice actors so much. They are so nice to talk to. They're so down to earth. They're so happy to take photos, to take time just to spend talking to you, or to autograph anything. They're just quite happy just to do these things. So
I'm quite like that with comic book artists as well.
They are. A lot of comic book artists are like that as well.
I find that a lot. I find I have a connection with them, and if any of you don't know, I'm good friends with Stuart McKinney, who I absolutely love and adore. And I ended up taking prints of his to Gallifrey 1, his Doctor Who prints. If you don't know, stuartmckinney.com. And when I first met him, I had no idea he was famous at all. And then I happened to look at all his work, and then I happened to Google him. And I even said to him, a few months after I met him at another convention, I said, "Do you realise you're famous?" And he turned around and said to me, "Oh, no, I'm not." He's like, "Come on." He goes, "I just draw stuff."
Yeah, but people know his name.
Yeah, and it's like, what? What? It's like, yeah, no.
It's like Billy Tan.
Well, yeah, Billy Tan's great as well. He's an adorable guy. And you meet, Tom Taylor, and then you meet Tristan Jones. I love Tristan Jones.
Tom Taylor's quite funny.
Yeah, I got drunk with Tom and Tristan last year, actually. That was a fun conversation.
That would surprise me.
Yeah, we ended up talking about Stuart's Ranger fetish, but that's a different story. So, we'll probably cover that in another episode.
Yeah. But our next episode will probably be covering Iron Fest.
Yeah, more likely covering Iron Fest, talking about, because their theme is time travel this year.
If you haven't actually seen it, they've got a YouTube video up.
Hilariously funny.
So look up Iron Fest 2013.
Yeah, and also to my friend Luke Sanders and his lovely wife Vivian will be there. Also, the Sydney Sabre Arena, who we are a part of, will be at Iron Fest.
Yes, that's probably when I'll be in my
Ahsoka.
I
don't do Jedis. Even though I like to fight like Jedi, I don't have a Jedi yet.
Yeah, so that's my Jedi. So she'll be coming up with me. I'm not sure what day she'll be doing it though, because I've got a whole heap of X-Men players coming up as well, because cosplay is coming up, because it's time travel.
Yeah, and a lot of cosplayers are coming. This has become quite a massive geek event in the last 5 years.
Well, apparently because it's time travel now, everyone seems to be like, oh, we can do so many things with this time travel. Whereas like last year's theme was steampunk.
It was steampunk, yeah.
So it was big, but it's not going to be as big as this year.
And I'm going to freeze to death, and I will be dragging the wedding dress, I think.
Yeah, well,
I have a feeling that Donna in the wedding dress will have to make an appearance, because if not, it's just...
No, well, it's time travel.
Well, it's more the fact too that Luke is going to be 10th Doctor, so he's going to need...
He does look like David Tennant.
Yeah, that's the main reason why I'm going. I'm doing like my Donnas.
Yeah.
Which is going to be fun. You know, so if you don't know, I'm doing my Runaway Bride Donna. I will be doing my Venice, like Pompeii, like that. I'll be doing my Pompeii Donna, and if I was thin enough, I could have done my, the Partners in Crime Donna, but unfortunately the suit doesn't fit yet. But if I can, I'll probably go and talk to my friend Sam, and I'll probably go and get the Journey's End Donna as well, which is a bit more warmer.
It will be a bit. I think we're going to be a bit chilly. My Ahsoka's not the most covered.
No.
You know, that big gaping hole in the back. And,
yeah, which I fixed, by the way.
Yeah, I know, Jason knows that too. And, yeah. But, you know, the diamonds and everything cut out. So
but you do have your new headpiece.
I do have my new headpiece, but I've also got my Jedi robe, so I might take that along with me. Yeah. And she's actually worn a Jedi robe now, so I'm just like, yes, I can actually wear that. My rogue, my rogue's going to be a bit different, because the rogue on this is actually wearing a leather jacket. I've actually found one with a trench coat.
You've got to show me your suit.
Yes, I will.
Yeah.
I've got a trench coat that will be... I've got to get the trench coat actually to be covering, because it's thin. It's like a lycra material, so it's very, very thin. So I'm going to be freezing. But it needs a bit of alteration before it goes to Iron Fest.
It does.
Yeah.
And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, we will be letting you go. This is Lisa, the other one half of Nerd Herd, signing off.
I'm Kelly, signing out.
And we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.